What's up, guys? Welcome back to the London fam.
And today we are actually going to be doing something different from everything else we've been doing. We are going to do a water safety video with you guys, and so you guys can know about water safety.
So what happened was recently while we, before we went on this last vacation, before we took the road trip, I was watching social media and I saw that a 10-year-old died in Destin, Florida, and she didn't have a life jacket on, but I guess that's very important. It was a riptide,
yeah,
occurring whichever way that took her under. Her whole family. So rest in peace to her, and we send our condolences to her family.
Yeah.
And we felt really bad. I've been looking at this every single day for updates, and my heart breaks for the family, and it made me realize just how important life jackets are, knowing how to swim, educating our children. We are in the water so much. We go on vacation every couple of months, and it's always dealing with water, whether it's a swimming pool or at someone's beach and getting in the ocean water somewhere. Myrtle Beach, Florida, somewhere we're always in water. The cruise, we get off and go on those islands if we're in the water there. So I just wanted to talk about that because it's so important. It's too many people are drowning senselessly and without the proper knowledge and the proper attire and the proper equipment that they need overall. And I'm talking about from swimming suits to the life jacket. Kennedy, what do you know as a child that's important about swimming and what you need to be mindful of?
So, if you're in a swimming pool, knowing your limits of, where you can swim and where you can't. Always being supervised by an adult. Don't go into the pool by yourself. Listening to what the lifeguard tells you or what signs tell you. Don't ignore them. Mm-hmm. Always, listen to them. Stuff like that. And then if you're, little and you can't swim, make sure you wear, a floaty or something.
I don't care. Those were all really good points. I'm super proud of you. Those were good points, but I want to highlight a few things that she said and add on to it. So knowing your limits is important. I don't care if you're a child or if you're an adult or if you're an adult and you know your children can swim. You still need to know their limits. If you're in a pool that you're not used to going up to maybe 5 feet and now you're going onto the ocean, that's a lot of water. And you never know when there's going to be a drop off, right? And that's when you're 1 minute you're just waist deep, and all of a sudden you take a small step and then you drop down suddenly. You're like, oh, what was that? That's happened to us plenty of times when we were out on islands. And it can be very scary because you're like, well, what just happened here? And they're drop off points. You just never know when it's going to happen, right? So know your limits, know your environment, know, okay, we're in this ocean water. I need to be mindful of, like she said, the lifeguards. All these people are out here. If something is happening, you don't want to just get in the water because you see 1,000 people in the beach water, right? Go with someone you know. If Kennedy's in the water, someone needs to be in there with her. Don't just let your child go out there by themselves because the other people don't know if there's a problem. Oh, this kid is out here. They don't know. No one's paying attention to your kid like you should be paying attention to your kid, right? So life jackets is always, 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 always. Kennedy does not wear a life jacket when we are at a beach or at a pool unless she gets in on the deep end. When I'm in the deep end with her, I will have her to put on a life jacket. There's probably something that we need to consider moving forward just because of, too many drownings and what just happened. It really scared the crap out of me. As far as the life jackets are concerned, guys, listen to this. Coast Guard life jackets is what our children need to be wearing. It's what adults need to be wearing. We went to Cedar Point last year, and I was so frustrated when one of the lifeguards wanted to look at the twins' life jackets and say, oh, we just need to make sure that they're Coast Guard approved. And we were just getting in the wave pool. And I'm like, well, they're life jackets. They're approved. No, out of ignorance, I did not know that. And it took us to go on this road trip for me to, and after that incident with this young lady, the 10-year-old, for me to come back home and say, let me look at these life jackets that I have for my children and see if they really are U.S. Coast Guard approved, which in the inside, I'm going to tell you in a second. I knew for the most part that 2 of them were from last summer, but I had bought some more last summer and they never got a chance to really wear them. So I decided this trip that we were going to wear different life jackets just to kind of switch things up a little bit. However, I went and looked when we got home just to make sure. This is one of Zaya's floaties. She typically has this one on. This one is U.S. Coast Guard approved. You will see USCG approved, and it'll be in a little writing somewhere along here, and also you'll see certified. But just because it says certified does not mean that it's U.S. Coast Guard approved. Let me show you one. This life jacket is what Zaya wore on our recent road trip that we just came back from. This is not USCG, U.S. Coast Guard approved. I thought it was, I don't know, and I was just switching things up. It's not even certified. Like, there's no certified in here. There's no nothing. So guess what? We'll probably get rid of it. I'm not even going to give it away or try to sell it because I want the next kid to be just as safe as my children. Zion's, he's got the Spider-Man one, which we switched it up because typically he wears his dinosaur one. His also has U.S. Coast Guard approved written in here, and it's certified. It's got a certified label on here as well as it's written. So he was fine with this guy. Now his dinosaur one as well has U.S. Coast Guard approved in here somewhere. And I don't remember where I saw this one. Oh, this one was a little bit different. His is over here on this side, but it is U.S. Coast Guard approved. And it also says certified safety marine on here. So in the event that something happens, and it's U.S. Coast Guard approved means if they were on a vessel like a boat or any other, like something else in the like a cruise ship, they will be totally fine with this. Like, it's U.S. Coast Guard approved. His are all covered. Zaya's is not. I'm going to throw away one of hers. Now, that's important, and also the way that it fits. You got to make sure that everything is tightened and strapped the way that it needs to be in order for it to work according to how it's supposed to work in the event that there's a water emergency. What else do I want to talk about? Proper supervision. Kennedy said being supervised. Always, there should be a parent watching, and I mean not distracted at all. You shouldn't be on your phone. You shouldn't be texting people. You shouldn't be having deep conversations with your husband or your best friend because you're catching up on things. All eyes should be on those kids in the pool and the ocean, the beach water, the island, wherever you're at. Someone should be having their eyes on these kids at all times. I mean, one second matters, right? One time you look up because you're fiddling with something, you look down and then you look back up and you don't know where the kids were because the waves took them somewhere. We got to all do better than that, because I'm guilty of that as well, especially when I'm trying to take pictures. Moving forward, I mean, this really scared the crap out of me with this young lady. It was just, I don't know, it didn't hit home because nothing happened at home, but it was like a wake-up call, you know? The lifeguards are not 100% responsible for taking care of our children, being responsible for looking at all the people in the pool, all the people in the beach water. They're not responsible for that. They are there to make sure rules are being kept, and in the event that there's an emergency, they can assist because they have the proper training. Drowning is often silent. It's not always going to be someone flailing around and doing all this and waving and blowing bubbles and just being, you know, over the top with it. Like, oh, you know, you're not going to always see that. So one drop of water is really all it takes. And depending on that individual, it just may go down and they may go down right along with it. Okay. So like I said, avoiding those distractions as well. Kennedy said, never go in a pool or any other body of water alone. Always want to swim in pairs, because if her and I are in there together and something happens to her, I can yell out for help. I can help her. If she's by herself or I'm by myself, I can't get any help. She can't get any help. And then that's another issue right there. Taking swimming classes. You have to know the very, very basics. I mean, my kids have been in the water since they were babies. Literally, Kennedy, she was for real, like 2 or 3 months old, March, April, May, June. She was 3 months old when I started putting her in the water at our community pool. And that's what we did with Kennedy. The twins, the same thing. They were like born in the water. I feel like they were always in the water when they were born. And I always say, oh, they can swim, they're fine, because I taught them how to do the very, 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 very basics. And that's not what they need. Swimming lessons is getting ready to happen, even with Kennedy.
Yes.
Because it's important. I need to make sure my kids know exactly what they need to know, and not just because, oh, well, I taught them. Yeah, I used to be a lifeguard, but that was when I was like 16 years old. That was many, many moons ago. I want them to go to someone else that can teach them things that I may have forgotten, don't remember, or just didn't realize that it was important to teach the kids. The whole family should learn CPR. I'm an advocate for supporting families with CPR. I teach CPR. I think we all need to learn CPR. Kennedy was on a couple of my CPR classes with me, and so she knows very little about it. But I think, like, I'm not saying like her age should know CPR, but she should know how to do the basics. Something happens, the parent needs to run and get help or something. She could be doing the very basics. I mean, give a couple of breaths every couple of seconds, or do this. Everyone needs to know. Parents most definitely need to know how to do CPR in the event of an emergency. It's so important. Every second matters when someone is not breathing. Time is everything at this point. Colors, guys. We love the pretty swimsuits and the 2-pieces and our little boys' swim trunks, but are they really safe in the event that something is happening and we need to be able to see our kids? Oftentimes, somebody's at the bottom of the pool because they've already sunk. What colors are best? Bright, contrasting colors such as neon yellow, orange, and green. Yeah, that's not everybody's favorite, but it's the most safest colors that you can wear and be seen in the water. We all like to play in the water. We like to do tricks, and we like to flip, and we like to throw each other and all that jazz. We just did that over the last couple of days. I was throwing the twins. Kennedy was throwing the twins, but you want to try to...
You're being safe while doing so. Mm-hmm. And, like, don't throw them, like, too far or too deep where you can't reach them at this point. Because if they start, like, sinking and drowning, you can't get to them fast enough.
Correct. And then you want to avoid the really bad, like, behaviors, the fighting, the roughhousing, and also the breathing. What is it? The breath holding little tricks that the kids are doing these days. I'm going to hold my breath for X amount of minutes. I'm going to hold it longer than you. You can't do that. It's fun, but it causes problems if we don't know how to breathe accurately, if we don't know how to make up for the time we weren't breathing or taking in any air. So we just got to be careful, guys. This is so important. I'm telling you, I think I need to get out in the community and do some free classes, CPR classes, just to make myself feel a little bit better about the situation. I think that's pretty much it. I just felt like it was important for me to get on here and say something because this was really bothering me. It's just still bothering me about that young lady, that 10-year-old in Destin, Florida. She was on vacation. Guys, we just overall have to do better, and we have to be safe around water. Right, Kim?
Yeah. It's really important.
Yeah, very important. I mean, we all want to have fun. The ocean is not our friend. It's pretty. It's, it's nice when it's hot outside. We can just jump right on in. Yeah, and depending on what island you're on, it's very shiny and inviting. But the ocean is not our friend. That's not our environment that we're supposed to be in. We just like to be in that environment. So we need to know how to be safe in that environment. No one's saying don't go. Just be
careful, safe, and responsible.
There you go. And that's all that we have for you all in regards to water safety. Thanks for spending these last, I don't know how many minutes with us in this vlog. Like and subscribe. Comment down below if you have any questions or need some clarification. And we will see you guys
in the next vlog. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.